Imagine a tiny, single-celled organism floating in a primordial ocean nearly 4 billion years ago. This is where our story begins. For billions of years, life evolved, growing more complex, adapting, and surviving mass extinctions. Dinosaurs roamed the Earth, then vanished. Finally, after an immense cosmic journey, the first primates appeared. Fast forward to about 6 million years ago in Africa. Our earliest ancestors, the hominids, took their first upright steps. This was a game changer. Walking on 2 legs freed up their hands, paving the way for the single most important development in our history, tool making. About 2.5 million years ago, with simple stone choppers, the Stone Age began. These weren't just rocks, they were the first expression of human ingenuity, the first technology. Our ancestors, like Homo habilis and Homo erectus, started to spread. They were explorers. Homo erectus was the first to leave Africa, venturing into Asia and Europe. They also harnessed one of nature's most powerful forces, fire. Fire meant warmth, protection from predators, and cooked food. Cooked food provided more energy, which in turn helped fuel the growth of a larger, more complex brain. This bigger brain was the hardware for what was to come next. Around 300,000 years ago, a new species emerged on the scene, Homo sapiens, us. We looked like our predecessors, but something was different inside. We possessed a unique capacity for symbolic thought, language, and art. We didn't just see a bison, we saw a spirit, a story. We painted these stories on cave walls, creating the first art galleries in places like Lascaux and Chauvet. This ability to share complex ideas through language and art allowed for unprecedented cooperation. For tens of thousands of years, we lived as hunter-gatherers, moving with the seasons in small, egalitarian bands. We knew the land intimately. But about 12,000 years ago, the world began to warm up after the last ice age, and everything changed again. This was the agricultural revolution. In different parts of the world, from the Fertile Crescent to China to the Americas, people independently discovered how to cultivate plants and domesticate animals. Wheat, rice, corn, cattle, sheep, and pigs became our partners. For the first time, we could produce a surplus of food. This sounds simple, but it was the most profound shift in our way of life. We no longer had to roam. We could settle down. Villages sprouted. With a stable food supply, the population exploded, but settlement brought new challenges. We needed to manage resources, organize labor, and defend our territory. This led to the rise of social hierarchies, leadership, and eventually government. From these first settlements, the world's first cities emerged in Mesopotamia along the fertile banks of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Cities like Uruk and Ur became bustling centers of trade, culture, and innovation. With so many people living together, we needed a way to keep track of things: grain stores, trade deals, and laws. And so, around 3500 BCE, another world-changing invention appeared: writing. With cuneiform script, history officially begins. We move from prehistory into the recorded past. Writing allowed knowledge to be passed down accurately across generations, leading to incredible advancements in mathematics, astronomy, and engineering. This is the era of the great ancient civilizations. In Egypt, pharaohs built monumental pyramids, testaments to their power and their sophisticated understanding of geometry. Along the Indus Valley, cities like Mohenjo-Daro featured advanced urban planning with grid-like streets and complex water systems. In China, the Shang dynasty developed intricate bronze work and an early form of their writing system. These civilizations weren't isolated. They traded, they fought, and they exchanged ideas. This interaction fueled the rise of great empires. The Persians, under Cyrus the Great, built a vast empire connected by a royal road system. In Greece, a new idea took hold: democracy. In the city-state of Athens, citizens debated philosophy, developed theater, and laid the foundations for Western science and mathematics with thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Then, Alexander the Great spread Greek culture across the known world. Next came Rome. From a small city-state, Rome grew into a colossal empire that encircled the entire Mediterranean Sea. They were master engineers, building aqueducts, roads, and massive structures like the Colosseum. Roman law became the bedrock of many modern legal systems. The Pax Romana, or Roman peace, allowed for 2 centuries of relative stability and prosperity. As these classical empires faded, new forces emerged. The Middle Ages in Europe saw the rise of feudalism and the immense power of the Christian Church. In the East, the Islamic Golden Age blossomed, preserving classical knowledge and making huge leaps in medicine, algebra, and astronomy. In China, the Tang and Song dynasties were periods of incredible invention, giving us gunpowder, the compass, and printing. Across the globe, great empires flourished, from the Mongols, who created the largest land empire in history, to the Mali Empire in Africa and the Aztec and Inca empires in the Americas. Then, in the 15th century, Europe stirred. The Renaissance, a rebirth of classical art, science, and humanism, began in Italy. This cultural explosion, combined with new technologies like the printing press, spread ideas faster than ever before. It fueled an age of exploration. European navigators, armed with the compass and new ship designs, sailed across the oceans, connecting the eastern and western hemispheres for the first time. This age of discovery led to the Columbian Exchange, a massive transfer of plants, animals, diseases, technologies, and ideas between the old and new worlds. It also kicked off an era of global empires and colonialism, reshaping the world's political and demographic map forever. The intellectual fervor of the Renaissance led directly to the scientific revolution. Thinkers like Copernicus, Galileo, and Newton challenged old dogmas with observation and mathematics. They revealed that the universe operated according to predictable, natural laws. This new way of thinking, the scientific method, gave humanity an unprecedented power to understand and manipulate the natural world. This power was unleashed during the Industrial Revolution, beginning in Britain in the late 18th century. The steam engine, factories, and railways transformed societies from agrarian to industrial. People flocked to cities for work, creating a new urban working class. Life sped up. Goods could be mass-produced. The world became more connected than ever before, but this progress came at a cost. It brought new social problems, inequality, and eventually, ideological clashes. The 20th century was a time of extremes. We witnessed to devastating world wars, the rise and fall of totalitarian regimes, and the constant threat of nuclear annihilation during the Cold War. Yet, it was also a century of incredible breakthroughs. We landed a man on the moon. We unlocked the secrets of the atom and DNA. The digital revolution, powered by the invention of the microchip and the internet, has connected the globe in ways previously unimaginable. Information now travels at the speed of light, and that brings us to today. We live in a world shaped by every single one of these moments. From the first stone tool to the smartphone in your hand, it's all part of one continuous story. We face our own unique challenges: climate change, global pandemics, and navigating our hyper-connected digital world. The story of human civilization is a story of adaptation, innovation, and cooperation. It's a tale of triumph and tragedy, of our greatest achievements and our darkest moments. We've gone from a fragile species on the African savanna to a global force that can alter the planet itself. The next chapter is still unwritten, and we are all its authors. Thanks for watching this journey through our shared past. If you found this exploration of history fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the story of us. See you next time.